How good do you feel on a daily basis? Are you in pain? Are you tired? Are you unmotivated? Do you feel like you're operating in peak form? In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 underrated habits that will improve your health. Let's get into it. So, the other day, I was having a conversation with a friend, and we were talking about how he has pain on an almost daily basis in his body. Sometimes it's in his neck, sometimes it's in his back, and sometimes it's in his feet. So then I began thinking about if I experienced any pain on a daily basis. And I realized that I usually don't have any type of pain. I usually wake up feeling good and I feel good throughout the day. And I began to think about why. Was I born this way? Was I lucky? Or did it have more to do with the habits in my life and the way I lead my life? And I realized that it definitely had to do with the habits that I practice and prioritizing my own health. That conversation served to inspire this video, and I realized that these habits that I do are not complicated, they're not rocket science, and anyone can do them. So these are my 5 hacks. These are the 5 things that I believe directly influence my life and my health in a positive way. Let's get into the first one. The first habit on this list is hydrate more. This was the first one that I added to the list because it is arguably the most important, but it is probably the most overlooked. I've talked to many friends and family about how terrible of water drinkers they are, about how they know they don't drink enough water, but they just can't get themselves to, or they don't think about it, or they don't even like water, which I don't understand. Hydrating is very important. Water is life. I'm sure you've heard the statistic that we all need at least 8 glasses of water per day to stay hydrated and to function as normal beings. But yet, this isn't really the case. And so, it's number one on the list because it is a surefire way to make sure that our bodies have the nutrients that it needs and to be able to function like we need to. If you don't claim to be a water drinker or you know you don't drink enough water, here's how you build the habit of drinking water into your life. One thing that you can do is to set water aside in the mornings and the evenings, or whenever you spend the most time at home, in places that you know you'll be. So it might be the couch, it might be the bed, it might be the kitchen, wherever it is. Set water aside so that you don't even have to lift a muscle to put water in your glass or your bottle. It's already there and you can just drink from it. The second thing that I suggest is to get your own water bottle. A couple of my favorite brands are Hydro Flask and Nalgene. I actually have my Nalgene right here, and I put some stickers on it, and I really love this water bottle. I literally carry it with me everywhere I go, to work, when I'm traveling, on hikes, anywhere I go. I have my water bottle, and it's super easy for me to stay hydrated. I know that the capacity is 1 liter, so if I just drink 4 of those in one day, I'm good. Another thing that you could do is to set times of the day when you do drink water. Remind yourself. We can get so caught up with work or personal things that we just forget to drink water. I'm guilty of it. We all are. And so if you set a time on your watch, your phone, whatever, just to remind yourself to drink water, you don't have to think or make the choice. Once again, this is building habits. Habits is moving from making the decision actively to no longer having to think about making the decision. So if you're setting all these cues for yourself, whether it's setting water aside to places that you frequent or setting reminders for yourself so that you don't have to think about it, then it's more likely that you're going to form this habit of drinking water. Second on this list is get enough sunlight. This one is highly underrated because it requires us to be intentional about getting sunlight in our eyes. Now, some of you may have heard of the scientist Andrew Huberman. He talks extensively about the importance of getting sunlight in our eyes in the mornings when we first wake up. It's important because it helps boost our mood, it sets our circadian rhythms, and it helps us to jumpstart our days and our bodies. Problem is, not a lot of us are intentional about getting that sunlight when you first wake up. We immediately jump out of bed, we start our routines, we go to work, and we do what we need to do. But the good news is that we only need 5 to 10 minutes of intentional sunlight in the mornings, and that's enough for our bodies to benefit from the light. I clearly am in a place where there is a lot of sunlight, but if by the chance you live in a place where there's not a lot of sunlight, or there are actual 4 seasons and you don't get a lot of sunlight during the winter, then you can get a bright light lamp that helps to offset the light that you may not be getting during those times. So how do you add getting enough sunlight to your habit arsenal? Well, this one's easy. All of us have a morning routine. As soon as we wake up, we do something. The good news is that one way to establish habits or to increase the chances that they become cemented into your routines is by pairing them with another habit. And so I encourage you to think about your morning routines, think about what you already do, and find a place that you can fit in getting enough sunlight for 5 to 10 minutes each morning. So it might be as soon as you wake up, you go find a corner in your house or right outside of your house to get sunlight. Maybe if you drink coffee or you read a book, you can find a place to do those activities where there's sunlight. Or if you like to exercise in the morning, make sure you're doing the exercise where there's a place that you can get sunlight. Maybe you choose to do an outdoor activity where you're getting that sunlight. Whatever the case may be, look at your morning routine and just squeeze in the 5-10 minutes. There's no excuse to not be able to do that, and it will definitely improve your mood and help you sleep better at night. The third thing on this list is use your body. Now, I'm not talking about going all out and having to go to the gym every single day and committing to this huge grand thing. I'm just saying simply move, use your body, figure out ways for you to be active. It doesn't matter how you do it, incorporate ways to move in your workday. One thing that's useful for me is my watch tells me when I've been sitting down too long and to stand up. So as soon as I get that notification on my watch or on my phone, I stand up and I just walk around. Another thing that I do is I track my steps. I've been averaging 10,000 steps per year for the last 3 or 4 years. And that's something that's super important to me and reminds me that I'm moving enough in my days. I'm using my legs. Another thing that you can do is buy a bike, buy some type of tool that just gets your body moving, a jump rope, sign up for a cool class. Maybe it's Pilates or yoga, or maybe you try a new gym membership. Whatever it is, find reasons to use your body. Our bodies are capable of so many things, and it's important that we use them and we take care of them. The idea behind this one is not to get into the best shape of your life or to do all these crazy fitness goals. It's really just to use our bodies so that we fight the feeling of being lethargic. It's a terrible feeling and it's easy to slump into. We have all of these things around us that make us want to be lazy or be comfortable. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those things, but don't forget to use your body, be active, and your body will love you for it. So, how do you turn moving your body into a habit? Well, first, you can check out this video I made that talks about how to build an active lifestyle and how to actually stick to it. Second, incorporate it into your routine. Just like you looked at your routine in the morning to figure out how to incorporate getting sunlight into your eyes, figure out where in your day, whether it's in the morning, midday, or the afternoon or evening, that you can incorporate moving your body. There's definitely time and space. It might require some adjustments. It might require you reducing some other things like watching TV or being distracted on apps, but it's something that will positively influence your life and something that you will not regret. Another suggestion to build this habit into your life is to commit to reasonable times. You will hear across many of my videos that if you aim too high when you're trying to implement a new habit into your life, you're setting yourself up for failure. Start small, incorporate this new routine into your life in small chunks. Do 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here. Get to the point where it's just a natural part of your routine, and then you can increase the time as you go on. Lastly, make friends who are active or talk to friends about this initiative that you have so that they can hold you accountable and so that you guys can get active together. Fourth on this list is eat a clean diet. So right along the lines of taking care of your body, eating a clean diet is also super underrated because there are so many unhealthy foods out there that we can get addicted to or that we just love and that we crave, that unless we're being intentional about eating a clean diet, we're not actually understanding what it is that we're putting into our bodies. I'll give you a metaphor. If we were to put something like sand into the gas tank of a car, imagine how that car would operate. It would be terrible. Now imagine our bodies are those gas tanks and we're putting in all of these foods that are unhealthy for us. We're not operating in the best way that we can. All of these processed foods, all of this sugar, is not serving us well. So the point of this habit is to really be intentional and conscious about what we're putting in our bodies so we can give ourselves a chance of just feeling good and operating in an efficient way. What does eating a clean diet look like? Now, I think when people hear this, they think they have to give up all of their favorite foods or that the foods will be boring or that it's tough. There's nothing to do with that. Just think about the things that are not healthy for you. Essentially, think about the way you ate as a kid and maybe do the opposite of that. So try to avoid processed foods, try to avoid processed sugar, and try to put clean foods like proteins and vegetables, things that our bodies actually need into your body, and sustain it. Make sure that you're getting the right amounts, and then your body will do the rest. Your body will be happy. In regards to how to make eating a clean diet a habit, first thing that you can do is check out your pantry. What do you have in there? What do you actually need? What's nourishing you? And what is it that you actually don't need? Look at some of the labels, look at the nutrients in some of these foods and determine if those are serving you well. If it's not serving you well, get rid of it. Or maybe the next time you go to the grocery store, decide not to buy it, but rearrange or look at your pantries and determine what it is that will stay and that will actually benefit your body. Another suggestion is to explore other types of foods or reach out to people who are prioritizing eating healthy. Ask them what it is that they like to eat so that you don't have to conduct all this research or make it feel like it's a daunting task to change your diet completely. Ask people, explore in the grocery stores, and figure out what you like and what makes you feel good. And lastly, to make the habit even easier, once you do figure out what it is that you want to add to your clean diet, leave those things kind of laying around your house. If it's fruit, leave it in a fruit basket that's easy to see, so it's quite easy to just grab and you can start eating that. If it's some type of other healthy thing, leave it near the fridge or at the front of the fridge so that it's easy to grab and it's no question. Number 5 and last on this list is get enough sleep. This one was the last one on this list intentionally because it's the last thing you do as you conclude your day. But think about it this way: the last thing that you do to conclude your day will actually influence what you do the next day. So if you're not getting enough sleep, you're already setting yourself up to not have your best day possible the next day. Sleep is so important for our bodies to recover and for cognitive functioning and just to operate at the levels that we need to as human beings. Our brains consume a lot of our energy and we need them to make lots of decisions and to do what it is that we need to do. If we're not functioning at our highest level because we don't have enough sleep, then that poses a problem for us. The sleep that we get the night before influences our entire next day and all of the decisions that we make. This is all related and it's all connected and is all a chain. Something that I want to highlight in this video and in this channel is that it's these little decisions, these 1% actions that we're doing that influence our lives on a huge level. And so by being intentional about taking care of our sleep, our diets, our exercise, the light that we're getting, the water that we're putting into our body, we can then influence the other larger things in our life that we spend a lot of time focusing on. The way to make getting enough sleep a habit into your life is as follows. Avoid screen time before bed. I know we are all guilty of this. It's so difficult not to just scroll on a social media app and just fall asleep doing that, but that's actually so bad for your eyes and for your sleep cycle. So instead, put your phone, your tablet in a place that's far away from your bed. Don't even consider looking at it before bed. And instead, do something that will calm you down. Maybe take a warm bath or a warm shower, read a book, or just meditate. Do something that will bring down your heart rate, relax you, and allow you to gently fall asleep. Another thing is that none of this will matter if you don't take your sleep schedule seriously. I am very adamant that I get a minimum 8 hours of sleep every night. I track my sleep. I track how long I got REM. I track how long I have core sleep, and I track how long I get deep sleep. And it's super important to me that I get a certain amount or level each day so that I know that I'm operating at my highest level and that I just feel good. So those are the 5 underrated habits to incorporate into your life to immediately improve your health. They're not complicated habits. They're simple to incorporate into your life. It just requires some intentionality and taking them seriously. If you're interested in taking this a little bit deeper and one step further, I made a video about how I stopped drinking alcohol for 1 entire year, and I talked about the effects that it had on my body and how it changed my life forever. Check it out in this video, and I'll see you next week.